Hi everybody, I'm John
I'm Joni.
for Human Potential. Continue with my sort of health journey and health saga, I guess. I talked a little bit last video about my calcium score was 800 and how I didn't address issues, which then led to basically one day working out at the gym. Doing pretty heavy, right? Heavy weights,
Oh yeah.
and some HIIT training. Basically, would lift the weights, and I would the weights we'd lift basically were, it was full body, sort of chest, back, arms, shoulders, and we would do this sort of round robin sort of workout, and then hit this airdyne, this air
Oh,
bike.
that is a torture machine.
Yeah, the torture device. But anyway, so I basically we did that, and it's fine. I had this issue of in my chest. It was actually up here, and it was 7 in the morning, and it hurt all day. And then finally, at 1 o'clock in the morning, we decided to go in, and I talked about this, how basically the doctors, they didn't think they were going to find anything, right?
No.
But there was really no signs of anything until they went in there, and they basically found blockage. They scoped, they went in through my arm, and they scoped, and they found like a 90 to 95% blockage, right?
Right.
In the Widowmaker, the LAD. The other things were good. There's some peripherals had like 30 to 40%, right?
Right.
And so there I was. And we talked about the last video about the enzyme. What's that enzyme?
Troponin,
Troponin.
it's called.
Yeah, so they do a blood work in your troponin if it's elevated. And mine really wasn't that elevated. It was slightly elevated.
No, then they waited a little time and then they did it again. So
Kind of when it went from like 1.9 to 2.0.
it went up very slightly, but still went up.
So the good news is we caught it early. The the ridiculous thing was they said if we're going to go in there and scope it, and if there's any damage and we can stent it, we'll stent it right there, and we'll be done. And then they pulled out and they didn't stent it. And then what did they do? They gave us choices. Like
Right.
us, we're not doctors. What do you mean choices? You could have bypass surgery or you could stent. Like, what? We don't know what to do. And so,
it was very stressful because one, they wanted the answer by the morning, very quickly. We had no time to research anything, talk to anyone,
because they want to put us on the schedule
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
stenting or bypass, right? And the surgeon. So here's the thing: we were kind of thinking about redoing our floors in our house. We wanted to put this sort of tile that looks like wood, right, in the house. And we were debating: do we go luxury vinyl tile? Do we go, ceramic tile? And what made we went with ceramic tile. Why did we go with ceramic tile? Because ceramic tile is a long-term fix, right? It's more durable. It's going to last a lot longer. Luxury vinyl tile, yeah, it looks nice, right?
For a while. Mm-hmm.
But you could, tear it, could get scratched, whatever. And so we decided, you know what, let's just go with ceramic. And honestly, the cost difference wasn't that great of a big difference. So we went with ceramic tile. But my point is that's a long-term fix. So the surgeon basically said, look, stent is stentable. It's going to fix it now. Your recovery is a lot faster. It's quicker, right?
Right.
But we could be back here, 5, 10 years, and instead of being 58 going through a bypass surgery, you could be 70 going through a bypass surgery. And the bypass surgery recovery is way harder. So this is our dilemma.
No comparison as far as recovery.
This is our dilemma, right? And so I contacted my sort of natural Dr. Jack Wilson, cardiologist, board certified cardiologist, who now works for himself, and he recommended just to do the stent and move on. So I gathered everybody's information. Well, you can't see, but I actually have a scar here. And I decided to go with bypass surgery. And the reason why I did that is because going back to the tile analogy, it's basically new pipes. So that doesn't mean you could eat crap and just start over. No, I still keep a good diet. But I was going for a long-term fix. So to basically get new pipes.
Right.
But the recovery is a pain. It's a bitch, right?
That was so difficult.
The recovery is unbelievable. And that's why I want to talk about this, because anybody who goes through this, because I was like wondering, is there any support group for this? Because there's a lot of things that they don't tell you that you find out afterwards. Mm-hmm. So I went with the bypass surgery. It is like getting hit with a Mack truck. It is incredibly difficult, especially for those first 2 weeks. I mean, within a day, they want you to walk, and you feel like you can't even stand. I mean, you are so druggy, and I don't do good on anesthetic. So they make sure that they, they gave me these nauseous stuff, right?
Right.
Also, what's really funny is what I found out is when I take a lot of supplements, and when you take supplements, that's actually not great for surgery. Also, I found out that when you're in kind of good shape with you have muscles, the recovery can be, believe it or not, more difficult than if you had no muscle and you're just kind of fat, right?
Right.
Which
we had no idea.
Right. Because I was in a tremendous amount of pain, all right? But the supplements that I took, so anybody who's going through this, I'm telling you, if they tell you you're going to go cut the supplements out, because it thins the blood.
And let the doctor know you're on supplements.
Let the doctor know. Also, they were giving me blood thinners, which I think they were giving me too much of.
I would agree with that.
Because what happened was I went into surgery, I came out of surgery, but I had bleeders, right? I had bleeders. And so they're like, I don't know where this blood's coming from. It was seepage, right? Mm-hmm. So there I go back into surgery. Now I'm out. I don't really know any of this. She's got to go through this. But I go back into surgery, and basically, what did they find out? There really wasn't any.
They couldn't find a particular spot. It was just all over. That's exactly how he described it to me, like seeping everywhere, and they couldn't stop it. So they were giving you blood, giving you platelets, giving you whole blood to boost you back up because you were losing too much. But it's a good thing they chose to go back in, because instead of just letting it go and trying to have it stop by itself. That wasn't going to happen.
And when you have bypass, they put 3 tubes down here for leakage. I actually had to have a 4th tube here for leakage, for drainage.
For drainage, right.
And so, it was kind of scary and painful. Very, very, very painful. And you say, why are you talking about this? Well, this channel is all about the human potential in all areas. The magnificence of the human body. The ability to heal itself. I mean, because, look, this is barbaric. I find it 2024 that we're still cutting open chests. That there isn't anything that can just go in there and clear something out. Like, literally, but you think of the money that's involved with these types of procedures.
Oh my goodness.
So, like I said, we're not doctors. I'm just telling you my experience. But to me, it seems like pretty barbaric. Like in 2024, we don't have better methods. At least we have the technology for bypass surgery has come a long way from what it used to be. And now they're kind of routine. But the ability to recover from these things is amazing, how the body responds.
Incredible.
God made a perfect sort of being here, in all areas, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you believe in God, Goddess, or all that is or not, it's pretty miraculous how the body just sort of heals itself. And that's kind of the reality here, that, no matter what we do to our body, if you stop it, it tends to recover pretty quickly.
Yes.
And it doesn't mean that, And what do you mean quickly? I mean, look, this is a good year recovery. First of all, you're 6 months and you can't do anything. 3 months for sure you can't do anything. You don't even, you're not even supposed to lift your arms over your head, throw your arms back. So really taking a shower, you cannot do by yourself. They don't even want water hitting your chest. So you have to just, shower with it hitting the back, and you kind of sponge it. I had a shower chair that I used because it's hard to stand.
Well, you have no stamina at the beginning. At the very beginning, you could barely stand up long enough to take a shower.
And you're pretty drugged up.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
You're pretty drugged up. Yeah. It's kind of, you really have to have mental. So anybody goes through this, I tell you, it's tough. It's tough. But, one thing they didn't tell you, too, they didn't tell us, which we didn't know, is I had incredible insomnia. Like, I couldn't sleep. And why?
Well, I guess it's part of the recovery process, but we, like you said, we didn't know it. We didn't know to expect it.
They didn't tell us any of this stuff.
No, there were a few things. I started researching it after the fact, and I would tell him, expect this or this or this. And sure enough, it was everything that I researched really basically did occur.
Right.
But we weren't told, and, it's up to us. Be your own advocate. You got to look it up. But you got to research.
There's no information on this stuff. Like,
No.
they don't tell you this stuff. That's why I think a good support group for this. So that's why I'm kind of telling you my journey. But then, so
it would take away a great deal of fear if you could do that.
Right, fear, stress.
Fear creates stress. It prolongs the healing.
So and it was a difficult recovery. I finally got to the point to where I was going to go to cardiac rehab. Right, it's basically physical therapy. Yeah, you can start mild exercise into that. And I'm in there talking with the guy who's been there for a while, and he says to me, he goes, "Did you have sleep issues when they first?" I go, "Yeah, I did." So it's not just me. And our research proved that, no, this is a part of what happens when you come out of surgery. I guess coming down off the anesthesia, I don't know. But we did this is common, which nobody told us about.
But it was scaring you because being awake like that all day, all night, feeling exhausted but yet not sleeping.
Right.
It was frightening.
And you really, I slept on the couch because you can't really lay on your side, basically only on your back. It's uncomfortable, and you've got to really be mentally strong. Now, prior to this, like I had said, I had went on a pretty much paleo diet, like no carbs, no sugars, no alcohol, lost 65 pounds. I really started getting into the blood work and what the blood work's really supposed to be. Not just your basic blood work. We're talking more extensive blood work. I did this through Natural Heart Doctor, Dr. Jack Wolfson. And it's about $500 for the blood work, but it's totally worth it because you're going to get into your oxidative stress, your LDLs. You're going to get into, people say total cholesterol. Okay, throw that number away. And again, we're not doctors. We're not giving you advice. Okay, do your own research. LDL, HDL. Okay, but there's in-depth C-reactive protein.
Right.
APOA, APOB.
Particle sizes of the cholesterol.
Particle size. Oxidative stress. Oxidative LDL. Homocysteine levels. Okay. There's so much more to it than just total cholesterol.
Right, and it even looks at the toxicity in your body caused by metals and different kinds of things. If you have a reaction to any kind of toxic materials.
But the body needs cholesterol. Okay, the body needs cholesterol. So this whole thing about lower cholesterol is not necessarily true.
Brain needs it.
Triglycerides. So my triglycerides were low, my C-reactive protein were low, my ratio HDL, LDL. And what's funny, when I started eating more meat, vegetables, not a lot of vegetables, but more meat, honestly, my numbers went down. Contrary to what everyone tells you, my numbers went down. I'll show you these numbers, and I'm going to keep showing these and kind of tell you how my sort of path or journey on this. But my numbers went down. Now, there was two levels that my homocysteine levels were in the moderate range, triglycerides were low, my oxidative LDLs were in the middle range, my ApoB was in the middle range. So those are three areas that I needed to work on. Homocysteine levels is kind of directly related also to blood pressure too. Also nitric oxide. You want to think about nitric oxide, which we can talk about blood pressure and these kinds of things.
Right.
But so there's more extensive blood work that you kind of really need to get into. So normal doctors honestly are just not going to do that, and it unfortunately might be out of pocket for you to get the more extensive blood work.
Yeah, that unfortunately is the case.
But the extensive blood work is going to give you a broader picture of really what's going on. Right?
Yeah, but you might need to do a little research to be able to look at that blood work and decipher it. It's not.
Well, get with a good integrative medicine doctor,
Yes.
natural
He
doctor.
or she can help you with that.
And they can kind of give you an idea. Like I said, get Gary Brecka is one, Dr. Jack Wolfson. There's many people who are doing this extensive. Ken Berry, Dr. Ken Berry,
Right.
we follow his channel as well.
A good functional medicine doctor, if you can find one in your area, that would be helpful too. Because functional medicine is.
And the one key that everybody has to really focus on too, which is my area, is the spirituality, right? And it's the mental aspect of your which we're going to keep delving into this in this channel, because it all works together: body, mind, spirit, or spirit, mind, body, right? It all works together in a synchronistic form, synchronistic reality. And that's really the key here that we have to focus on. But I went through this surgery, and the recovery was rough to say the least, right? And now I'm working my way back. It's been about 8 months?
Yes.
So maybe 7 months. October is when I had the surgery of 2023.
Well, it's July now, so
Right.
yeah,
So it's July 2024. So I'm still doing my recovery, walking. I'm still working out. My strength is coming back. Muscles are starting to come back a bit. And it's getting the body back in shape. But
it is body, mind, and spirit. In your recovery, it's so important. Because even though you were recovering physically, you had a lot of mental health issues, and that can hinder you. That can hold you back. You have to get everything in order.
It's normal.
Yes. Completely.
My dad died at 59. So my dad had a stroke, died at 59. So that enters your mind when these things happen. So yeah, you go through a lot of that. That's why I think a good support group is good. But which I couldn't find one out there for somebody who's gone through bypass surgery. But it's normal. It's normal to have those feelings. But you got to trust your doctors in a way that, okay, the heart's fixed now. So now we got to heal the bones, right? And we got the muscles and
everything, nerves.
All these little twinges, all these nerves were destroyed. So you're going to feel twinges throughout your chest. That's the nerves coming back to life and regrowing, and you're like, oh my God, what is this? And you feel these twitches, and so it's mentally it's a challenge.
Yeah, because even though you are healing, you still mentally you might not know it or feel it, or every time you feel, like you say, a little something, you think something's wrong again, but it isn't necessarily.
Knock on wood.
Yeah.
Right.
So far we've been fortunate.
But the great thing about it is the human body and its ability to bounce back, to heal after this. I mean, you think about what
Trauma. Huge trauma.
the human body goes through. The obesity in our country, right?
Mm-hmm.
And people are still walking around. Like what the body goes through. And we saw this during this COVID with the earth. Everyone says, oh, we're destroying the earth and this and that and climate and everything like that. Okay, first of all, you're going to be long gone before this earth goes away. Long gone. You're not destroying anything. Are you damaging it? You're more damaging yourself than you are the earth. Because as we saw with COVID, when everything stopped, no cars on the road, no planes in the air, the earth started to repair itself. The air got cleaner. Water started to clean up.
Yes.
The earth, like the body, is a living organism. And it repairs itself quickly. And it's just a reality. If we think we're smarter than it, you're not. That's just ignorance and arrogance, right? The earth is like the human body. It's a living organism. It repairs itself quickly. And also another thing, like the body, if it doesn't like something, it gets rid of it.
Yeah.
And if the earth doesn't like you, guess what? You think you can fight the earth, Mother Nature? Stand in front of a tornado. Get in front of a hurricane. Or, I don't know, get in front of a tidal
A
wave.
tsunami or something, yeah.
You tell me if you survive that, all right?
Right.
I don't think you will. So the human body is a miraculous ability to recover and heal itself. It's fascinating how it works, right?
Absolutely. So never think it's too late.
Never think it's too
You
late.
can always affect, your future. You can do better. You can be well.
You can be more aware,
Yes, absolutely.
right? And you can be more aware. I don't like the word almost do better because that kind of indicates that maybe you're not doing good now. And I don't like to give ourselves those sort of unpositive impressions of ourselves because you're perfect who you are. You just might not know it, right? And as you grow and more aware you become, you realize I always was and always am perfect. It's just what level of degree of awareness that you have.
Yeah, but I also think I want you to feel better.
Right, you want to feel good.
I want you to, have a zest for life and feel well physically and mentally.
Right.
So that's all part of it.
Right. It's definitely a matter of feeling good. And I go up and down because I'm like everybody else mentally. That's my hardest thing. And it's about letting go of the disastrous thoughts. Or at least recognize him and then let him pass through. And the more that you practice not letting it affect you, or kind of just letting those thoughts go, the easier it gets. So you're not alone in this process of what we call life, human potential, and all that life has. And anybody who's gone through this sort of bypass surgery or heart issues, you're going to come out okay. You're going to come out okay. I'm on my way. I'm well on my way for recovery. And you're going to be okay as well. And no matter what the issue is, you're going to be okay. I hope this channel helps, because I'm all about positive thoughts, positive deeds, positive action, right? Think it, be it, believe it, achieve it. I mean, that's what it's really all about. And the more you practice this, the more aware you're going to become, and easier, I believe, you're going to be on yourself and not expect you to be perfect every single day. I believe that perfection is actually in the imperfection, right? And we miss that. And because it's through the trials and tribulation, it's really kind of where we learn. Do we need to go through these trials and tribulations? I've always said we do not. But that's what leaders are for. That's what spiritual guides are for, right? To help us go through this so we don't have to go through these things.
Right.
Right? You can have complete and total enlightenment in this lifestyle. I think that's what Jesus, Buddha, kind of taught us, right? That it's possible. And so I think as we get deeper and deeper and deeper, I always take a more sort of yogic approach to life, spiritual, and that's really what I'm about. It's not about talking and dwelling on problems, or I should say, it's not about dwelling on problems.
Right.
It's about finding solutions.
Right.
And look at the sun's coming through our blinds.
I know.
These blinds suck. We got to get rid of them. Try a different. The sun beats through, but so you're seeing my lines in my face. But anyways, guys, I hope that helps. We're going to continue this. Talk probably more about spirituality in our next session. More recovery talk, health issues, diet.
What
These
you're
kinds of
doing
things.
now to
Yep. It's a great world we live in, and see the good in it. See the good in yourself. Love yourself for who you are. Anything to add?
No, I think that you covered it for today.
Thanks, guys. Please hit that like, share, subscribe. Remember, love yourself for who you are. Be good to yourself. Have a great rest of your day.